And there is another 2 totes brought into the woodshed to feed the Woodmaster 4400. The outdoor wood boiler is still burning. It's the beginning of April and it is cold. We got once again last night a snowstorm. You can see there's still some snow left, along with a whole lot of rain, which made this part up here nice and muddy to drive through to bring in these totes of wood. So last weekend on Sunday we had a snowstorm, and then on Monday and Tuesday it warmed up a little bit into like the 40s, upper 40s, melted all the snow, and then last night we got another round of snow. And now today it's been rain all day. It's supposed to rain again here in a little bit. So of course on one of the crappiest days of the week, that is when this morning I realized I needed to bring in some wood this afternoon. So here I am, I've got these 2 totes. I'm going to take you back and show you what I have left for, technically what I have kind of set aside for this year's burning season. I am running a little low, but let me know down in the comments if you are still burning your either outdoor wood boiler or your wood stove. I'm sure if you're burning your wood stove, it's probably like you're just firing it up on these cold days like today when it's, like I said, I think it's only like 35 right now in the afternoon. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you are still burning and how long do you anticipate to continue burning. Because our plan usually around here, the kind of like the average is around the middle to end of May that we shut this thing down and then call it a year for burning. But this year, if things keep going the way they are, I don't think I'm going to have enough wood to get through the end of May, so I may have to tap into what I had kind of set aside for the beginning of next year. And again, I'll show you that in a little bit when I head back to the wood yard. I'm just waiting for the temperature here is at 161, so I'm just waiting for the blower to kick on so I can throw a few pieces on, because I haven't filled up since last night. I loaded up good last night, so now it's middle of the day the next day, so I need to throw some wood on. I also need to wait for this to fire up so I can get a decent thumbnail for this video. Hopefully, we'll see. Maybe it won't turn out and I'll have to use something else. I'm sure you guys don't want to hang out waiting for this to drop 1 degree, or maybe you do. The suspense might be killing you. When is it going to happen? Another 10 seconds? Maybe another minute. Who knows? All right, boiler reloaded and thumbnail taken. So I'm usually only loading up about once a day still. It's just that I'm putting on more wood than I typically would be putting on this time of the year. Typically this time of the year, loading up maybe once, maybe twice a day, but only putting on like 4 or 5, maybe 6 pieces at a time. Now when I'm loading up, I'm like, because the temps are getting colder, or are still cold, I'm having to put on a little more wood. So putting on that more wood has caused me to be taking a little bit more off of the stack back here. The pile. This year's boiler wood stash. And I'll show you here in a bit. Oh, let me show you this quick. Got a load of logs in from Rick. He took down a big, that's right, a big black walnut. So I got some walnut logs right there, a couple right there. Those 2 are too big for the Yappa. And if you own a sawmill right now, look away, close your eyes, don't look at this, because that is what most of those logs over there are going to become. Hunks and chunks for the kindlet. And eventually, some beautiful back 40 mini firewood. I know, black walnut should be taken to a mill, or I should mill it up, but you know, I don't have a sawmill. I'm not going to spend $3,000 to $4,000 to buy a sawmill to saw up 4 logs. Probably won't be worth it. So I don't usually ever get walnut. I've had it, this is the second time now that I've been able to get it to make into mini firewood. And that supply right there, once I split that all up, that will probably last me years and years and years. But it might be years until I get another load from Rick. The other thing is that was a city tree, and typically mills don't take trees from the city. And like I said, I just don't have a mill. Rick's got a mill, but I don't know. You know, you saw up a couple logs like that, you get what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 smaller boards with maybe a couple live edge, and then what? You sit on them for 2 years hoping somebody around here will buy them, which nobody would. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. There is what's left of the 2024-25 burning season, or the 2024 personal boiler wood stash. There's a little bit down there in that little stack. So I'm thinking there's probably about maybe just a little over 1 tote left. So 1 tote over here, and just real quick, let me tell you, climbing down in there to pull those pieces out, yeah, that's not as much fun as, I don't know what I was thinking when I put this contraption together. Well, I know I put the wood, I think I had some of the wood down there and I put these things on top of it. Well, anyway, tossing wood down in there, it works great to put it in. But when it comes time to get it out, especially like over there, I was like down in there and then I had to like throw it over here and then throw it into the tote. So yeah, not the best option, but works out good to keep the weather, keep the rain, keep the snow off of it. I'm glad I had this thing here because, like I mentioned, last night it snowed and today it rained all day. So this wood, if I would have needed to take this in, would have been completely soaked, which not that big a deal, but just sucks handling it and it becomes a mess. So the 2 totes that I just took in, and then that tote, we'll just say it's a tote. So 3 totes left to get me through the next 2 months. I don't think that's gonna happen. So now, then what I'm gonna need to do is start on the other end of the pile over here and start pulling this off, which is gonna be the wood that my plan was to take this wood in this fall. So we were just way over there, so now come all the way down to this end. This is the end that my plan was of, like I just mentioned, this is the stuff that I would be taking in this fall to start burning, and then I would be working my way through this pile all the way back over to there. So if need be, I will come over here and start digging this stuff out and taking it in. Well, I'm pretty sure I'll need to, because I don't think those 3 totes are gonna last 2 months. So yeah, that is it. I will be starting to, I may end up tapping into next year's supply a little early. Now I do have another little stash over here. I do have this little bin between my 2 little shelters here. So this little mid section, this stuff, I was kind of planning to burn this myself anyway. So there's 2 rows here. And I mean, some of it's a little like punky, not the greatest. Some of it's split a little big. You can see the section that's been rained on. So this stuff I probably should keep and burn for myself or not sell that. But yeah, so maybe I will take this out and then that way I can reload it for next year to sell. But yeah, there's some bigger chunks in there and some stuff that is a little, it's got a little mushroom growth on it. So I might not want to sell that. But anyway, that is the my day today. Sloppy, wet mess out here in the wood yard. Reloading the woodshed for the spring. What normally is starting to wind down and not burn as much wood. But everything that I plan to burn through this year, I have. So I may need to dip into next year's, well, I do have that reserve, so I don't know if I'll technically be dipping into next year's supply just yet, but if I do, I do. And if I do, that means then I'm just gonna have to make some more. Isn't that right?